If you're reading this module, your heart's been broken. You've had somebody who you've grown with who's probably in addiction now, who's probably not answering phone calls, who's back in the system. And I just want to say, don't give up on that person. I was in the same position too with my very good friend Chris, where I let him down. And not only that, I let myself down plenty of times. Don't give up hope. There's always gonna be hope there. Just remember that you planted a seed and this seed is growing. So when that happened with me and I finally decided to change my life, I'm like, all right, well, here's this person who never gave up on me. I can trust this person. I can be myself with this person. Yeah, 15 years later, still there for me.
This time seemed, when Joe Ray was going back to prison, starting with, he was first taken to the county jail and he was held there for a while. And then he was going to be transferred to Shelton, which is kind of like a clearinghouse. And after he had been at the jail for maybe 30 days, his adult daughter and Joe Ray's ex-wife were there with me, and we were there to pick up Joe Ray's personal effects. And it was a really painful moment for all of us. Here we are with his clothes, and he's gone, as far as we're concerned. He's going someplace where we're not going to have any contact with him even for a while. And it was very sad, very painful for all of us. My previous experience with prison was that there were programs and things going on, and Joe Ray could, take this experience and make it better for himself. But when I thought that it was bad, when he got transferred to Shelton, it got worse. It got way worse. And his time at Shelton, I knew that he was sleeping on the floor. The place was extremely overcrowded. COVID was rampant. I got to see things that I just hadn't seen before as to how incarceration can be in a crisis like COVID. And they didn't respond well. And when they didn't respond well, it was really bad for the men, and especially for Joe Ray. He was in a really bad place.
We were, under the impression that, our incarcerated sister was going to be, moving back to this town, and it was going to look like this, and then those things started changing. And we needed to let go of those expectations that we had, that, success was gonna look like how we thought that it was gonna look, or that success meant that this is how the story is going to play out. And that's not how a relationship with a human being works. Sometimes humans do things that are surprising, and they make their own decisions. And we had to take a lot of time. We actually did this individually, revisiting the covenant that we made. And there's 4 parts of that covenant, and that we make it our commitment. So it's part of that broader covenant, has these 4 commitments: our commitment to God, our commitment to our incarcerated friend, our commitment to our team, and our commitment to Underground Ministries. And that was so important for us to take that time to revisit those commitments, because I think when you start this process, you see the commitments. We read the commitments at the beginning, but those commitments did not have flesh on them. They were just words and intentions and hopes. And then all of a sudden they were really filled out, and they were really human. And you realize, here I am, I am my own broken person, and I need to revisit this commitment that I'm making to God, to this other human who is incarcerated, to these other humans who I'm on this team with, and to these humans who run the organization of Underground Ministries, and particularly this program.
The update right now with Joe Ray is that he has, because of the process he's been through, it's really been transformational for him. I hear it in the tenor of his voice. He's much calmer and more insightful. When we finally got to see Joe Ray after almost 2 years of no communication, we talked a lot about what had happened, every step. And then we came around to, but now we're here. What I loved about it was that we were able to go through that and be there with him. When I think about Joe Ray getting out this time, I know that there's some things that we'll be able to do that we couldn't do last time. I feel a lot closer to him, and I know Sarah does too. And I can honestly say I kind of feel like he's an extension of my family now. And I'm an extension of his family. I've grown to know his adult daughter pretty well. And there's just many more things. Some things that have changed is that because he has this young daughter, there'll be contact with her. He's all excited about parenting classes. One of the things that he says that he never said last time was that the number one thing that I want to be is a good father to my girls. And it's just kind of beautiful to hear him say that, you know. We're hoping he's getting out in like 2 or 3 months right now. And it is very joyous. And it's definitely God's work. And I guess that's, in this whole thing, it was God's work, for sure.